After when Ada lost her parents, her mother started maltreating her and calling her names. In a quiet village surrounded by thick forests, a young girl named Ada lived with her blind mother, Mama Nkechi. Though they were poor, they found joy in the little things: Ada's laughter, the warmth of the sun, and the stories Mama Nkechi told in the evenings. They survived on what they grew on their small farm, and every few days, Ada would go to the forest to gather firewood. Her mother, though blind, had an incredible sense of the world around her. She could tell when rain was coming by the smell of the wind and could feel the presence of someone by the way the air shifted. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Mama Nkechi ran her hands over the firewood pile. "My daughter," she said, "we are running low. Go to the farm and fetch some before night falls." Ada nodded. "Yes, Mama, I will return before dark." She balanced her basket on her head and set off. The path to the farm was familiar, winding through tall palm trees and thick bushes. Birds chirped, and the rustling leaves made it seem as though the forest itself was whispering secrets. The whisper in the wind. As Ada gathered firewood, she suddenly heard her name carried by the wind. "Ada, Ada." She froze, gripping her bundle of wood. "Who's there?" she called, but only the rustling trees responded. Her heart pounded, but she shook off the fear and turned to leave. Just as she stepped forward, the ground beneath her gave way. With a scream, she tumbled into a hidden hole, her basket flying from her hands. The hole was deep. Though Ada was unhurt, she was trapped. She called for help, but the forest remained silent. Fear crept into her heart as the sky darkened. Then, from the shadows, a soft voice spoke. "Do not be afraid." A dim glow appeared, revealing an old woman dressed in white, her hair silver as moonlight. Her eyes, though ancient, sparkled with kindness. "Who are you?" Ada asked, trembling. "I am Nimiri, the guardian of this land," the woman said. "You did not fall here by accident. Your heart is pure, and your love for your mother is strong. I have watched over you." Ada listened carefully, her fear slowly fading. "You must promise me one thing," Nimiri continued. "Always be kind, even when the world is unkind. In return, I will help you." "I promise," Ada whispered. The old woman smiled and blew a soft breath toward Ada. Instantly, the hole filled with bright light, and Ada found herself lifted to the surface. Her basket of firewood was beside her, but something else was there too, a small clay pot. "This is my gift," Nimiri's voice echoed as she disappeared. Ada hurried home, heart pounding. When she reached her mother, she told her everything. Mama Nkechi listened in awe and touched the clay pot. Suddenly, it burst open, revealing gold, yams, and food enough to last a lifetime. Tears filled Mama Nkechi's eyes. "You have been blessed, my child." Greedy hearts. News of Ada's mysterious blessing spread through the village. Some were happy for her, while others grew jealous. Among them was Mama Uju, a greedy woman who wanted the same fortune for her lazy daughter, Amaka. One evening, Mama Uju whispered to Amaka, "Go to the forest and pretend to gather firewood. Call out to the spirit, and when she appears, demand a gift." Amaka, eager for riches, set off to the farm. Unlike Ada, she did not hum a song or thank the trees. Instead, she kicked at the roots and grumbled. Then, a whisper floated in the air. "Amaka, Amaka." Her eyes widened. It worked, she thought. She quickly pretended to trip and cried out. But instead of falling into a magical hole, she felt a sharp slap of wind against her face. Nimiri stood before her silver hair glowing under the moonlight. "You summon me with greed in your heart," the spirit said, her voice cold. "You do not help your mother. You do not respect the land. Why should I bless you?" Amaka frowned. "Ada got riches, and I deserve the same." Nimiri shook her head. "Blessings are for the pure-hearted. You shall receive what matches your soul." A loud crack split the air. A heavy wind swirled around Amaka, and in the blink of an eye, she found herself sinking, not into a magical well, but into a muddy swamp. When she crawled out, her fine clothes were ruined, and in her hands was not a pot of gold, but a basket filled with biting ants. Screaming, she ran home. Mama Uju was horrified, but the lesson was clear. From that day, neither of them dared to be greedy again. A royal visitor. As for Ada, she remained humble and kind, using her blessings to help the poor. She never forgot Nimiri's words. One day, a traveling prince named Abina visited the village. He had heard of the girl blessed by the spirits and wanted to see her. When he met Ada, he was struck not just by her beauty, but by her generous heart. Unlike other maidens who boasted of wealth or begged for his attention, Ada remained humble. Abina spoke to Mama Nkechi, asking for her blessing to marry Ada. Mama Nkechi, sensing the prince's good heart, agreed, but she left the choice to her daughter. My child, wealth and status do not make a man good, she advised. It is his heart that matters. Ada smiled. Prince Abina is kind, like the wind that whispers through the trees. If he will love and respect me as I do him, then I will be his. The prince, overjoyed, promised to cherish Ada forever. Their wedding was the grandest the village had ever seen. But even as she became a princess, Ada never forgot her roots. She continued to visit her mother and help the villagers. A final gift. Years passed, and Ada and Prince Abina ruled with kindness and wisdom. Their kingdom flourished, and people sought Ada's advice. She became known as the Queen of the Golden Heart. One evening, as Ada sat in the royal garden, a gentle breeze brushed against her cheek. Ada, Ada, recognizing the voice, she followed the wind's call to a quiet grove, where Nimiri appeared, her silver hair glowing under the moonlight. My child, Nimiri said, you have remained true to your promise. For that, I have one last gift for you. A small crystal gourd appeared in Nimiri's hands. This holds the water of wisdom. Whenever you face a great challenge, pour a single drop, and the answer shall be revealed. Ada bowed in gratitude. Thank you, Nimiri. I will use this gift to help my people. Years later, when Ada and Abina had children of their own, she passed down the story of Nimiri, teaching them that true riches lie in kindness, wisdom, and generosity. And so, the legend of Ada and the Whispering Woods lived on, reminding all who heard it that the purest hearts would always find favor.